Automatic cars are built for comfort and ease, yet small mistakes behind the wheel can quietly chip away at their performance and your wallet. From habits we carry over from manual driving to maintenance shortcuts that seem harmless, these errors often cost more than we realize. So what are the biggest mistakes to avoid in an automatic car?
Number 9. Don't drive with 2 feet. A surprising number of drivers carry over habits from manual cars into automatics, and one of the biggest mistakes is using both feet on the pedals. It feels logical at first, one foot for the brake, the other for the accelerator. But in practice, it creates more problems than it solves. In a stressful moment, like a car suddenly cutting in front of you, that split-second confusion can make you hit both pedals at once. And in an automatic, that is the last thing you want. When you press the brake and accelerator together, the brake will win, but not without consequences. The car may jerk to a stop, throwing you and your passengers forward with surprising force. If someone is not belted in properly, that jolt could mean serious injury. Automatics are designed for simplicity, and that includes the way you use your feet. The right foot handles everything, pressing the accelerator when you need to go and moving over to the brake when you need to stop. The left foot, once busy with the clutch in a manual, now gets a brake. Stick to this rule and you'll drive more safely and smoothly. Well, smooth driving also depends on never neglecting transmission fluid changes. Number 8. Neglecting transmission fluid. Most drivers remember to change their engine oil, but transmission fluid often gets overlooked. In an automatic car, this fluid is the lifeline of the transmission system. It keeps the gears lubricated, helps manage heat, and even protects seals from breaking down under stress. Without it, those metal parts grind against each other, creating wear that can lead to expensive repairs. Unlike oil, transmission fluid doesn't always need changing as frequently, but ignoring it for too long is risky. Over time, the fluid loses its ability to cool and protect the system. Signs such as difficulty shifting, grinding noises, or sluggish acceleration are red flags that the fluid is overdue for attention. Manufacturers like Toyota generally recommend changes between 60,000 and 100,000 miles, though conditions like heavy traffic, extreme weather, or aggressive driving can shorten that window. Sometimes a full flush isn't needed. Mechanics may replace only 30 to 40% of the old fluid to refresh its protective qualities. And when fluid issues slip by, your dashboard warns first. Number 7. Never ignore those dashboard warnings. Your car's dashboard lights are not decorations. They are designed to warn you when something is wrong, yet far too many drivers treat them as background noise. Every symbol on that display has a purpose, and ignoring it is like ignoring your body when it shows signs of pain. For example, an oil pressure light left unchecked can quickly turn your engine from a finely tuned machine into a pile of scrap. These alerts aren't random. Modern cars are filled with sensors that constantly monitor how the engine, transmission, brakes, and other systems are performing. When something is off, the dashboard light is your first signal. Taking action early usually means a quick, inexpensive fix. Waiting until the problem becomes impossible to ignore often means paying 5 or 10 times more in repair costs. And one warning drivers ignore most often is the fuel light. Number 6. Never drive on empty. That little fuel light on your dashboard isn't just an inconvenience. It's your car's way of telling you it's in trouble. The fuel pump in an automatic car relies on gasoline to keep it cool and properly lubricated. When the tank runs too low, the pump has to work harder, heating up and wearing down much faster than it should. What's worse, running on fumes pulls in the dirt and sediment that naturally settles at the bottom of your tank. That gunk then makes its way into your fuel filter and injectors, creating problems you really don't want to pay for. Keeping your tank at least a quarter full is a small habit that saves you big money. It's the difference between topping up with a few extra dollars today or shelling out hundreds later for a replacement pump. And when a pump finally gives out, it often leaves you stranded at the worst possible time, usually far from help. While it might feel clever to squeeze in one more trip before filling up, the truth is it shortens the life of a very expensive part. Fill up early, and your car will reward you with reliability. But even with fuel handled, parking mistakes can ruin transmissions. Number 5. Never park before you stop. In every automatic car, there's a tiny part inside the transmission called the parking pal. It's about the size of your little finger, yet many drivers unknowingly expect it to stop the entire weight of their vehicle. That small piece of metal is only designed to lock the transmission once the car is already at rest. Forcing it to hold back a moving vehicle is like expecting a paperclip to stop a falling hammer. It simply cannot handle the stress. Shifting into park before your car is completely still puts an incredible strain on the pawl. The grinding sound you sometimes hear is the part struggling against forces it was never built to withstand. Keep doing this, and it will eventually break. Repairs are costly, but the bigger danger is that a failed pal means your car might roll away even when you think it's securely parked. On a hill, that can quickly turn into a disaster. The simple rule is to always wait until the vehicle comes to a full stop before selecting park. Let the car settle into position first, then shift. It takes only a moment, but saves you from expensive repairs and serious risks. Saving repairs also means avoiding outdated habits like neutral coasting. Number 4. Coasting in neutral. Some drivers still believe slipping the car into neutral while coasting saves fuel, but in modern vehicles, the opposite is true. This habit comes from an older era of carbureted engines, where drivers thought disengaging the engine reduced fuel use. Today's cars are built with advanced engine management systems that automatically cut fuel during deceleration while in gear. That means you're already saving fuel without touching the shifter, and coasting in neutral does nothing but waste efficiency. Beyond fuel concerns, neutral coasting creates safety risks. When the car is out of gear, you lose the benefit of engine braking. Instead of the engine helping slow you down, your brake pads are left to do all the work. Over time, this wears them out faster and shortens their lifespan. Even more concerning, being in neutral limits how quickly you can respond in an emergency. If you need to accelerate suddenly to avoid a hazard, that delay in shifting back into drive can cost precious seconds. Modern engines are engineered to maximize efficiency and safety during deceleration. Keeping your car in gear is both smarter and safer. Trust the technology built into your vehicle, and you'll save money while staying prepared. Yet all preparation fails once water slips into your transmission. Number 3. Water in your transmission spells. Trouble. Automatic transmissions are complex systems that rely heavily on transmission fluid to do their job. This fluid not only lubricates moving parts, but also transfers power from the engine to the wheels, making smooth gear shifts possible. When water finds its way into this system, the entire process is compromised. Flooded streets, heavy rain exposure, or leaks from nearby components can all be culprits, and even a small amount of water contamination can cause serious damage. Once water mixes with transmission fluid, it destroys the carefully balanced properties the fluid was designed to maintain. Instead of protecting against heat and friction, the mixture starts to break components down. In fact, a simple experiment has shown that water sinks to the bottom of the transmission case, causing rust and corrosion on vital parts. When stirred together, the contaminated fluid turns into a frothy mixture that looks like a milkshake but performs like sandpaper. If this issue goes unnoticed, you'll eventually face slipping gears, poor performance, or even complete transmission failure. Repairs can be extremely expensive, often costing more than preventative maintenance ever would. The takeaway is simple. Keep your transmission sealed, avoid driving through deep water, and have it inspected quickly if contamination is suspected. Of course, not all threats come from water, some from sunlight. Number 2, ignoring protection from sun damage. Leaving your car exposed to direct sunlight for long periods does more than make the seats uncomfortably hot. Intense UV rays slowly wear away at both the interior and exterior of your vehicle. Dashboards can crack, upholstery fades, and seals around the transmission and doors dry out, all because of prolonged heat and sunlight. Interior temperatures can climb above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, creating conditions that stress components never intended to withstand such extremes. Over time, this silent damage reduces your car's appearance, comfort, and even its value. Fortunately, protecting your vehicle isn't complicated. Parking in shaded areas whenever possible is the simplest step. A good quality sunshade blocks much of the heat that builds up inside, keeping your cabin cooler while protecting materials from cracking. Window tint is another effective option, capable of blocking up to 99% of harmful UV rays. On the exterior, regular waxing provides a layer of defense against solar radiation, while dashboard protectants help prevent small cracks from turning into noticeable damage. These inexpensive habits make a huge difference. The car that still looks sharp after a decade usually belongs to the owner who parked wisely and took a few simple precautions. Protecting from sunlight today saves big tomorrow. Still, tomorrow's repair bill grows if you top off fuel. Number 1. Stop overfilling your gas tank. Many drivers are tempted to squeeze in just a little more fuel after the pump shuts off, but this habit does far more harm than good. When the nozzle clicks, it means the tank is full and the system has accounted for the space needed for vapor. Forcing in more fuel pushes gasoline into the evaporative emissions system, which is designed to handle vapors, not liquid. The valves and charcoal canisters in this system can quickly become saturated, leading to malfunctions, check engine lights, and rough performance. Another problem is spillage. That extra half-gallon you try to force in often has nowhere to go once the fuel expands, meaning it can drip out and waste money while also harming the environment. Repairs to the EVAP system are not cheap either, with costs often ranging from $200 to $600, depending on the extent of the damage. The simple solution is to stop pumping as soon as you hear the click. Modern vehicles are engineered to maximize efficiency without topping off, and leaving space in the tank allows the vapor recovery system to work as intended. In the end, topping off buys you no extra range, but guarantees expensive problems down the road. Every automatic driver has their own habits, but which of these mistakes have you caught yourself making? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your experiences. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with fellow drivers.